Hi, I'm Jane Boone, your pervy Sherpa, and I'm here to discuss the meaty question of who has the power in the relationship between Ilya and Shane, because it's very fluid and it's complicated because sexually they play in a dominance and submission dynamic where Ilya is the dominant and Shane is the submissive. And within BDSM, there's an ongoing debate about who has the power. Is it the dominant who directs and controls things moment to moment, or is it the submissive who can call a halt to it at any moment? And we see Shane stop things. So we know he's not afraid to put his foot down. This question, who has the power, is actually something I explore quite often in my own fiction, which is smutty BDSM novels. But back to Shane and Ilya. So, in my opinion, BDSM, dominant submissive submission, doesn't inform the power question between the two men. Instead, what informs who has the power in the relationship is the person who needs it more. And at the beginning, Shane needs it more. He has fewer outlets than Ilya, who's had lovers, who's had experience, who's not afraid to seek out what he's wanting and make it happen, whereas Shane is more reserved and he seems sexually inexperienced. So Ilya is his guy at the beginning, otherwise his options would be quite limited. So in that context, Shane has got less power than Ilya because of that disparity in need. But as their relationship progresses, that need shifts. And towards the end, Ilya cracks first. He says he loves Shane first, seems more emotionally invested in relationship. We understand he's willing to move to be with Shane. Shane, in this instance, has the power. And not a lot, he doesn't have a gross upper hand over Ilya, but things have changed through the arc of the relationship as it progresses. And one of the things that's kind of exciting and unusual about their relationship is how they were engineered by Rachel Reid to be equals. They're at the same point in their careers, they're the same age, they have similar drives towards excellence, they're probably compensated similarly. So there's none of that question of economic coercion, for instance, that sometimes is present when you see a great disparity in resources between two characters, especially when you bring in kink. Neither, towards the end, is more sophisticated than the other, so there isn't like a disparity in age or savvy. I mean, these guys sort of meet in the middle in a way that lets the relationship dictate who has the power rather than these exogenous factors like age, affluence, or even gender. Because when we see a male-female coupling, issues of the patriarchy can even infuse our understanding of their gender dynamic. You know, is she submissive because she wants to be, or because, you know, the rules of the world dictate she do so? Or is she dominant because she's violating the rules of the patriarchy and he's submitting because of whatever it is that's going on? So these are really interesting questions, and the way Rachel Reid neutralizes some of the typical sources of difference and power differences that might inform these relationships is one of the things that makes it so compelling, because there's none of that ick factor. So I hope this has been interesting, and I hope we see more in season 2, where the two men, their positions relative to one another shift. Might only be minor, but it still makes for great fiction and wonderful character progression. Thank you very much.